Hi, hello everybody, and thank you very much for joining us this evening. I'm going to keep letting people in as I go along because I can't see the option for co-host, but thank you very much. I know it's bank holiday, and I know it's been a lovely Easter weekend, so I hope everyone has had a great weekend, and I hope you've had a lovely bank holiday Monday as well. And I was just saying to Jonathan and Shannon that when I booked this call in originally, I didn't realise it was bank holiday Monday. So my apologies. But regardless of the day, we've all got to keep working and pushing as we head into our busiest months of the year. So we are very excited. We've got an incredible guest speaker with us this evening, the amazing Jonathan Roberti. And we are very lucky and blessed that he has reached out and offered to share all of his top tips with us this evening. So if you can pop loads of thank yous into the chat. He's also given up his Monday evening for us, which we're really grateful for. And Jonathan, I suppose if you don't mind, if we just get started, if you just tell us a little bit about yourself and your background, is that okay?
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Shannon and Sarah, for having me on the call tonight. And thank you guys for being on here. I know it's everybody's time is very precious to them. So being on here shows definitely your commitment to sharing our business and our wonderful products with the people in your lives as well. This is my 19th year in healthcare. I've went into healthcare looking to help people. And what I started with was in the behavioral health field, but it quickly turned into helping people from head to toe with their health. So my focus was mainly working with folks with really treatment refractory conditions. So people that had been in the hospital for months, sometimes years, that had chronic health conditions. And one of the things that I saw, early on in my career is a lot of the health conditions that people were coming into the hospital for, and then subsequently down the road into private practice, was due to nutritional deficiencies. And I would say that probably 85 to 90% of the health-related conditions that I continue to see even to this day are related to nutritional deficiency syndromes. People are just not getting the types of nutrition that they need to really go from just surviving to thriving, right? We want to see people thriving. And one of the best ways to do that is flooding your body with a wide array of different nutrients. So a lot of the folks that I would see, early on in my career and even continuing to this day, they're just not getting that good nutrition. They're not getting the 11 to 17 servings of fruits and vegetables into their diet, right? They either cannot or will not consume a wide array of nutrient-dense, highly nutritious produce into their day because it's not convenient or it's not affordable. So for me, I went into the profession to go to help people, but I felt like my hands were tied behind my back many times because I didn't have the tools in my toolbox because of big medicine and big hospital and big pharma saying, look, there's no money really in healthy people. We want to keep you with one foot in the grave and the other one, your hand waving for help. And for me, that was very frustrating. So for me, I had to find it. If I couldn't fix the system, I always say to folks, if I couldn't fix the system, I had to find a new system. And part of that was, in sharing Juice Plus with people, because it's such a common sense product, right? Fruits and vegetables and berries, picked at their nutrient density at their peak, flash frozen, and then put into a capsule or into a gummy that everybody can consume on a daily basis. So it just made good sense to me. So sharing that with people really was a godsend. And I thank, God every day for the fact that we have this wonderful product to be able to share with other people. And it's really moved the health needle for folks. And I was saying this, Shannon and Sarah, before the call started, that, in the last 2.5 years, we've seen such an awakening, right, of people taking ownership over their health. Self-care is the new healthcare. And so I see all of you on this call as being part of those ambassadors of good health, sharing that mission with other people. So I'm very, very happy to be on the call with you guys tonight. I'm very proud of all of you for taking on that mission.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Jonathan. It's really nice to find out a little bit more about you. And I absolutely love that. Self-care is the new healthcare. So I think we'll definitely be taking that forward. So we have got some questions coming up this evening. We're going to start with a little bit about the products, and then we will move over to sort of recruiting and about the business side of things. But I suppose number one for us at the moment, Jonathan, is we all really want to focus on building a capsule business. We think, we know they're definitely our best product. And obviously, the families, the children go free. So it's really important for us to be sharing that probably more than a lot of us do. So we wanted to know, what are your top tips for advertising the Healthy Starts with Families plan?
Well, it's mission critical, right? Using our capsules are the preferred customer route. That is our continuity program. That's our flagship product, the fruits, vegetables, berries that are encapsulated, and sharing that with people really comes back to what I was just saying about self-care. Self-care is the new healthcare. Raising that awareness of people that they can get conveniently and affordably for under the cup, the price of a Starbucks a day, 47 different fruits, vegetables, and berries in a capsule that they can take day in and day out. Look, it's not that fruits and vegetables are new, it's that you can get them conveniently and affordably. So when it comes to then sharing that message with people, whether it's with social media or if it's, word of mouth, however it is that you're sharing that with people, I always am a big believer in sharing my product story, right? So how many of you, just a show of hands, are currently on the capsules right now? Show of hands. Yeah. So, you want to be a product of the product. So for me, it's always sharing my product story. I've been on the product since 1993, 94, and I've been consuming it day in and day out. And here's the changes that it's made in my health, and sharing the product story of people that I've shared it with as well. The thousands of people now that are consuming the product, I'm always sharing those product stories because that's what hits with people, right? Everybody's bullshit meter is way up right now, right? So when you're sharing from the heart, when you're sharing with emotional intensity of how it's changed people's lives, people really want to know more about that. So, it's not that you have to have, people say to me, Jonathan, well, I'm not a doctor. I can't share about these capsules with people because I don't have that knowledge base. Good. That's good. You don't need to have a doctor's degree to understand that fruits and vegetables are a good thing. Nobody's going to say to you next year, fruits and vegetables are so last year, you don't need them anymore. They're timeless. This is a foundational product. It's kind of good common sense that, if you're not consuming enough of it, because you either cannot or will not, then you've got to find a way to supplement that. And that's what we've got here, is something that's convenient and affordable for people and families that moves that health needle because it's real food, right? You flip over the label on the capsules or on the gummies, and you're going to see that we have a nutritional label, not a supplement label. So, the government here in the United States, they consider this food. When we've got the majority of people eating food-like products, right? So whether I'm sharing with people that, I'm just recently talking to that, most of the food-like products that people are consuming, boxed, bagged, canned, irradiated, nutrient deficient foods, right, that have been cooked down, that have had all the nutrients killed in that food. That's the beauty of the nutritional value of Juice Plus, right? They're flash freezing that under 118 degrees Fahrenheit, and that food has that. It's a living food. It's still able to get into the DNA, the pre-digestible food, and move that health needle for people. So for me, it's a common sense product. Advertising it, sharing that product story is where I really would say for the majority of you to focus on. Share that product story. Here's what it's done for me. I don't know about that, but here's what I do know. Here's what it's done for me. It's helped my split ends on my hair. I don't have split ends anymore, or my fingernails, they're not cracked or chipping or breaking anymore. The acne on my face has went away. So that's what people want to hear, what the product has done for you. And that really does make a big difference.
Yeah, amazing. I definitely totally agree with that. I think sharing your own story is always so much more powerful than sharing other people's. Obviously, we do share other people's testimonies, but our followers follow us for a reason. So I think sharing your own story is always really an incredible way of getting that across. So moving on, Jonathan, how would you say, obviously you're a doctor, you said you've been in the healthcare industry for 19 years. And when you are sharing the capsules or the chewables, what would you say your favorite health benefits that you share?
It's whole food nutrition. It's a salad bar and a capsule, right? It's something that people can get conveniently and affordably day in and day out that moves that health needle. And I always say to folks, this is the first generation here, and write this down, because this is the first generation here in the United States. We've got a very sick population of kids. They're growing up more unhealthy than they ever have been. And that goes for places around the world. It's not just exclusive to the United States. It seems like the more industrialized the nation is, the worse off the health consequences of that country are. And this is the first generation of kids here in the United States that will not outlive their parents, mainly from nutritional deficiencies. So when I'm sharing the benefits of this, I always put into reference the idea that, look, we're getting sicker, even though we spend more on healthcare related stuff than, a lot of the other countries that are out there. It's the United States, Australia, the UK. We spend so much on healthcare, but we have some of the worst outcomes, and a lot of it's totally preventable things. So what I'm sharing with folks, I'm taking the cotton out of my ears and putting it into my mouth, right? And I'm listening to what it is that are their pain points, right? So I want to know, what is it? Maybe they were just recently diagnosed with diabetes, or they were recently diagnosed with coronary heart disease. So then I'm going to be able to talk with them about the ways, right, that fruits and vegetables are a great thing for them, that this is going to help you with, at a cellular level, to be able to build your body back up, to be able to go from surviving to thriving. So for me, I'm always talking about the great benefits: fruits and vegetables, convenient and affordable, day in and day out, building those strong habits, focusing on self-care, moving the health needle with your family, all of those basic common sense things that I know a lot of you guys are already doing, but it's just good to hear again, right? To put that message out there for people.
Yeah, amazing. I really love that surviving to thriving as well, because before I started on the capsules, I was so tired, I was run down, I was anemic, I was lethargic. And I think in this day and age, you just feel like that's normal. You feel like everyone's tired. We're supposed to feel like that. And from going to feeling like that, from taking our premium capsules and getting up at 5 a.m. and being able to go to the gym and being full of energy, it definitely makes you want to share that more. And we should all be thriving and not just surviving.
Absolutely. And I want to bring up too the fact that we've got we've got really something special, not only in our capsules, but in our capsules of the omegas. We're the first company in the world to come out with a full 100% plant-based full spectrum omega product. 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9, 100% vegan, plant-based. And you were talking about sort of having a bit of that brain fog, right? Where you just kind of think, well, this is as good as it gets. I'm in my mid 40s now, and I started having a little bit of brain fog. I started taking the omegas, and literally within a week, the brain fog had completely diminished. So for me, having those omegas is part of my diet is a big deal. So when you're listening to what are some of those challenges that the person standing right in front of you, or the person that's on social media that you're working with, listen to what some of their pain points are to get them to the glory, right? Because what we have really is an answer for a lot of people's health challenges that are out there.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think it's really sad when you talk about this, this being the first generation of children that won't outlive their parents. And a lot of children are so unhealthy at the moment, and you know, are struggling with so many different health issues. And I even started my daughter on the sticker chart we get with the gummies. I showed it to her last week, and in just a week, she's so much more excited to want to go and try those new different fruits and vegetables, so she can put a little sticker on her chart. So I think, you know, definitely starting them young is obviously absolutely amazing. So thank you so much.
It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible to, you know, to see kids that, you know, and I've had this happen hundreds of times where a mom or a dad says, look, I can't even get a piece of broccoli in this kid's mouth. And now they're craving fruits and vegetables. I mean, for me as a doctor, look, to come from the sick care industry, right? You know, big medicine, big pharma, big agri, big, you know, all the big people that don't have our vested health interest, and to have that self-responsibility, that self-care mentality that, look, I can have ownership over my health, especially my kids' health. And now they're craving more fruits and vegetables. They're missing less days at school. They're drinking more water. That's a big deal. I mean, think about the amount of money. How many of you, you know, have kids on the call right now? Raise your hands. You know, I've got an 18-year-old that's finishing her first year in college. It looks like a lot of you guys have kids as well. How many of you, the kid has had to miss a day of school, and then you've had to take a day off of work, right? You're not getting paid. You know, when you're not there, you're not getting paid, you know. So if you miss a day of school, if the kid misses a day of school and you have to take a day off of work, that can add up. I mean, I've had parents that have missed, their child has missed 15, 20 days of school, you know, close to a month of school. That's a pretty big paycheck that they're missing out on. And if you can show them a way that their kid's going to miss less school and they're going to be healthier and have better health outcomes, absolutely incredible. Absolutely. I see someone saying in the comments, mine haven't been sick in 19 months since, thanks to their gummies. And it's absolutely true. Nothing tastes as good as healthy and fit feels. Nothing tastes as good as healthy and fit feels. And when you can move that health needle for a kid, that has a ripple effect, an absolute ripple effect. I mean, whether, you know, people say, well, is it too early to take Juice Plus? You can take it from womb to tomb, you know, from your first breath of life and before, for, you know, when you're pregnant, the amount of Juice Plus babies that I've been a part of that, you know, their healthcare journey has been absolutely amazing. Look, these kids come out and they have no allergies. They have none of the typical problems that you see in a lot of the kids where, you know, they have the food allergies or they have the environmental allergies that are going on. That's a big deal. That's a huge deal. And the amount of allergies that I've seen, just while we're on that for a second, the amount of allergies I see in kids now is nothing like it was even 3 or 5 years ago. It's absolutely incredible. And it comes back to that idea of eating food like products. It comes back to the idea that people are eating food like products. You know, I always say, if you can't pronounce it, right, or you can't spell it, or if it's got dashes and letters and numbers behind it, you know, you flip over the label and you look at it and you're like, holy shit, I can't even pronounce that. You probably shouldn't be putting it into your body, right? So that's always a good litmus test to keep as far as the food you put in your body.
That's all amazing. Thanks so much, Jonathan. I think, you know, we all love our products. We all love the capsules. Everyone who's on the call, if you could pop your top benefit that you felt from the capsules so far, that would be amazing. But I think just to hear it sometimes, especially from a doctor as well, and just really going over that and stressing the points and just reminding us of why they're so amazing and why we should be sharing them more and more, definitely highlights that for us. So I think we are all ready to get to work and start advertising more about the healthy starts for families, especially because we know so many children need these products, and we know that getting them on these products early is going to have a huge impact on their health in later life. So it's definitely our responsibility to be doing more and more of that. So we've got our customers, they're loving the capsules, you know, they're really enjoying the products. How would you go about converting those really happy customers into our new team members?
Yeah, are you from being a customer to now a team member?
Yeah.
Great question. Great question. You know, and I've always been a big believer in retail to recruit, right? You know, your best team members are the ones that have started out as a satisfied customer. And so, for people that have been a satisfied customer, I'm always, keeping my ears open for what's going on in their life and whether this would be a great opportunity for them, because we're in the business of building raving fan relationships with people, right? So, that retail to recruit model has always been a very lasting, model for introducing people to our opportunity, the time freedom, the financial freedom that comes with sharing our world-class products with other people. So for me, it's a matter of having a natural conversation with them. Look, you can't say the right thing to the wrong person and the wrong thing to the right person. And when it comes to someone that's a new team member that's been a satisfied customer, like I said, I'm always listening to what it is that are their pain points. Here recently, over the weekend, I had someone that said, look, I'm tired of missing my kids' softball games. And I'm tired of not being there for these magic moments. And I said, well, we've got something here, about our product. Here's, we have a great opportunity with the business as well. And they quickly saw that as being something that they could do to create some more time freedom. So for me, it's listening to what those pain points are, right? If they're a happy customer and I want them to become a team member, I'm listening for what those pain points are, the time freedom, that maybe they want an extra, $500 to $700 a month. The average person is looking to they're satisfied with having an extra $500 to $700 a month. That's a car payment. That's a mortgage for a lot of people. And that's a big deal, to be able to have to build a business over here on their own time, their own schedule, and to be able to have that financial freedom from it is an absolute big deal. Part-time, having that part-time and then build it into something full-time. For me, I started part-time in the business. I really didn't see myself becoming a full-time person with the Juice Plus company, but eventually over time, it absolutely made sense because it came back to what I was most passionate about. I wanted to help people. I went over a decade to school to be able to help people. And like I said, my hands were tied behind my back. So for me, I was frustrated. So I would say one of the other things that you want to look for is for people that are dissatisfied, right? They're dissatisfied in life, with their time freedom, where they are financially. So listening, becoming a good student of what it is that makes them dissatisfied and getting them from the pain to the glory, right? Teaching them how to share that message of good health with other people. We've got really an amazing opportunity here. I mean, I always say our business is not an easy business, but it's a simple business.
Yeah, most definitely. And I also think there's a lot of people who have maybe experienced that time freedom after, during COVID and coming out of COVID, the scary C word. A lot of people had the freedom to be working from home, and we're coming out the other side of that. And a lot of parents or, a lot of people that have been able to work from home are now going back into the office. So I think that's definitely something to be aware of and to be also focusing on right now as well.
It is. It's a big deal. There's a lot of people, and I said this to my wife. I said, look, there's going to be a lot of people after this whole COVID disaster is over that will not want to go back to their typical 9 to 5. They got a little taste of the time freedom, right? They weren't completely tethered to their job. And now they're like, I kind of like working from home, or I enjoyed this. How can I figure out a way to do that going forward? So you're 100% right, Sarah. There's a lot of folks that are dissatisfied, right? That they want to be able to do that. So having those conversations with people, keeping a new warm blood of people that you're talking to, so I always say to folks, say less to more people, make yourself a moving target. I'm like Visa. I'm everywhere. I'm talking to people. I'm sharing my product story. I'm sharing the opportunity of what we have with our company. And, if someone is listening, great. I share and follow up with them. I get them to an event. I get them to conference. I get it on a call like this, I get them off to a fast start. I get a check in their hand the first 30 days. I build that new man enthusiasm, which is mission critical to what we do. And, just keep continuing that. We get paid for doing two things in this business. We get paid for two things: onboarding new customers and onboarding new partners. Those are the two things that we get paid for in this.
Yeah, most definitely. Sorry, I'm scribbling away at the same time. Somebody wrote in there, I love the Roberti quotes, which I'm definitely loving that as well. I'm going to hand over to Shannon now. She's got some amazing questions regarding recruiting as well. So I'm going to pass over to Shannon.
Hello. I love the Roberti quotes as well. I'm scribbling them down as well. So I'm a big fan. But just kind of wanted to go over events, really. So a big part of our business is obviously online, but a huge part of events. And I feel like we've almost lost that aspect, whereas obviously with COVID and things, now we are coming out the other end of it. Everybody is hosting an event, whether it's an opportunity event or a convention or training, everyone is hosting them. So obviously this Friday, we have an amazing opportunity event hosted by Zara, who I know is going to drop the poster for us. So we're going to make sure that we are there. And we have our big regional convention as well in May. So my question to you is, what would be your top tips when inviting people to event, advertising, really trying to get as many potentials there as possible? Would you have any tips?
Yes, I do. When it comes to events, those are really the lifeblood of our business, right? Treat them at, those events is something super critical to building your business. Because look, I was always a big believer in the idea that getting someone to an event where they could see the big picture of what it is that we do and who we are as a company and as an organization. And the other thing too is that events for a lot of people really move them emotionally. You want to get someone to an event and they're going to get moved emotionally. They're going to hear those stories, those national marketing director stories, right? That person that's on stage that sounds like them, right? That they're there at that event and they're hearing that. And they're going, holy cow, that sounds like me. I want to be part of this. So for me, I'm constantly looking for who is dissatisfied as well. Who is it that I know, love, and care about that I should be getting to that event? Either it's a local event here weekly, in our backyard that I want to get someone to, or one of our big events, it's sort of like the World Cup, right? Our Juice Plus event is kind of like the World Cup. We want to get people to those events so they can see the big picture and really understand what it is that we do. So I'm always listening, like I said, for people that are dissatisfied and then inviting them to hear more about it. Of course, you've got pre-event activities, you've got event activities, and you've got post-event activities. So before I even invite someone to an event, I'm not waiting till the event to share with them about our products or our opportunity. I've already shared with them, maybe it is a video or some stories about the product. I've already shared with them that before they even get to the event. I've already talked to them about even bringing a few people with them to the event. Maybe they're a self-starter and they've already said, hey, I'm going to bring a couple of my friends to the event with me. So I'm constantly working that DMO, right? You know what I'm talking about? That daily method of operation. And I know that events are a non-negotiable. They're a paying activity. I treat that as a paying activity because it's just that important. So whether it's a weekly event or a team call like this or a new prospect call, I want to make sure I'm getting people there then to the call or to the event, but then I'm following up with them afterwards. Why? Because the fortune's in the follow-up, right? You guys have all heard this before. You know that if you're not following up with that person after you've got them to the event, what was the point, right? You want to follow up with them. What was it here that you heard? Was there something here that you heard that sounds good to you? Are you ready to get started? Does this sound like something you'd be interested in getting started with? So that follow-up is super critical when it comes to building for events. Treat them like a mission critical type thing when it comes to your business. And it definitely does change the trajectory of your business. Look, we're just starting the second quarter of the financial year, and many people take their foot off the gas, right? We're coming into summer, people are coming up on holidays, the kids are out of school. Now, that's when you want to be putting the pedal to the metal, is right now. You've come off the end of the year, the first of the year, New Year's resolutions. People, a lot of people have forgotten what their New Year's resolutions are, right? So you want to re-engage with that warm population of people that you've been sharing the product story and our business opportunity with. Get them to an event. Let them see what the big picture is. Get them there and get them moved emotionally. So, like I said, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person and the right thing to the wrong person. And if they don't get it, good vocabulary word, the head is next. Move on to the next person. And the other thing that I'll let you know about when it comes to events is that no for now doesn't mean no forever. Okay? No for now doesn't mean no forever. Sometimes people's lives change, right? Maybe they're too busy right now. They don't see it right now. It's not for them. Whatever it is, but don't keep them hanging out around the fire. You know what I mean by that? Keep them hanging around, let them, they're going to see through osmosis what it is that you're doing and the types of changes that you're making in your own health and your family's financial situation. And the impact that you're having in your community, in your neighborhood. And maybe it is that something changes in their life, right? Maybe the divorce has happened. Maybe they've lost their job. Maybe a new family member moves in with them. All of these things have happened to thousands of people over the last 2.5 years, right? So, and these things will continue to happen. So what I'm saying is keep your eyes open, say less to more people, and keep engaging with people when it comes to getting them to the events, right?
Yeah, I love that. And I think something that we've almost lost a little bit is how monumentous events are. And I remember when we had a call with Jeff and he almost said, like, look at our business as a cycle. You get your customers, the next week or so, or however long, you turn them to happy team members, then you get them to an event. And then after that event, you convert, then you start again till the next event, and always looking for that milestone of when's the next event? How many more people can I onboard on that event? Is such a key point that we don't often think about. And even something else you said about, obviously this is the quarter where people take their foot off the pedal a little bit. When in fact, I remember in summer last year, we would do like massive events with mums, like even a little park meet, get all the kids there, bring the kids, like, rather than take our foot off the pedal, why not take advantage of the fact, kids are off school? Okay, well, let's do a park meet or a play date meet. And it can be things so simple. So yeah.
Absolutely. Shannon, listen, what you said right there is really important. It can be so simple. Look, one of our best events that we've ever had as a team is meetups. So food for us is a big draw. So you have to know your population, know your people. So for me, I know the people that I surround myself around, food is a big draw. So what did we do? We have these outside little mixers where everybody brings a casserole, right? They bring the casserole, a healthy, the prereq for it is that it has to be a casserole or a dish that's made with healthy ingredients, right? They have to bring the ingredients, how they made it, and the recipe on an index card so people can take a picture of it. So now I'm making people engage with what it is that they're doing at the event, right? And people are sharing food. They're sitting around. They're talking about that. I have the tower gardens all lushed up, so I hold it outside. It's low impact. I didn't have to cook all the food. And then we're just talking about some health, or maybe I have a guest speaker. Maybe it's not on me, right? But then I have people there. Our last one of these meetups, we had 150 people there and 75 people on the wait list. I didn't have enough tables and chairs to be able to put people at. There's so much pin up. I guess you could say there's so much pin up need right now for people to be part of something, right? We're coming off 2.5 years of everybody wearing these face diapers and being isolated and they're looking to be part of something, right? They want to be part of something. So what better way to introduce people to a healthy lifestyle with family, friends, community, food, all of those things that people have a natural, desire to be around. So
I love that. And I feel that's what our business does best, right? So moving on, we've only got a few more questions, two more. Moving on about regional conventions. I wanted to ask you, if you were someone going to a regional convention for the first time, or just any advice really in general, what would be your advice when attending conventions in terms of what would you do? Any top tips for anyone who, the May 21st convention is going to be their first? What would you recommend?
well, listen, I remember my first conference, and I left the conference feeling like I had juice plus brain damage, right? Because it's just, you're taking a drink out of a fire hose when it comes to hearing all the great stories about the product. You've got people, look, and there's so much emotional intensity about being there that this is something, you don't want to take for granted, right? And I always say to folks, if it's your first time at the conference, if you're part of that freshman class, you've got that new man enthusiasm and you're going to conference, one of the things I always say is, look, the $1 million seats, they're up front, they're not in the back. So you want to be up front, you want to be primed and ready to go and taking notes, understanding what's going on and being part of that. Play full out, right? You're already there. You want to show up to conference like you're the best thing since roll on, deodorant or sliced bread. You want to be there and be on, right? And that is a big part of getting the most out of conference too. I always say that, I'm a big believer in if someone's willing to get themselves to conference, I've always been a big believer in proven systems and proven people. You get yourself to conference, I'll get your hotel room, right? Or I'll get your meals. So I've been a big believer in investing back into those new people that have made that decision to get the conference, because I know it's a big deal. You've got the childcare, you've got, away from your family and your, those types of things. But, making that decision to take financial responsibility for your life, I've always said, look, I want to invest back into that person. That's a big deal. So, and then after the conference as well, those notes that you've taken, you want to integrate that stuff. You want to blend, baby, blend. You want to take that information and take it and be able to teach it to someone else, to be able to share those things with other people. So, some of our best conferences have been where we've had lots of new people all staying together. So maybe we've rented a home, right? An Airbnb, and we've got 10 or 15 or 20 people in a home all together, right? They're all getting together, ready together in the morning. They're all, sharing the bathroom, all those things. They're going to conference together as a team. So they're building that team enthusiasm, that synergy, right? And I'll tell you what, that is absolutely priceless. Absolutely priceless. People are so high, they don't even need a plane to come home when they leave a Juice Plus conference, because and I've had this happen hundreds of times now, where people will go, I didn't even know this existed, this environment. I hate the people I work with right now currently. And everybody here, it's like a big love fest. Everybody loves each other. They're hugging each other, kissing. I mean, it's like a big family reunion. So you can't put a price tag on that World Cup, that Juice Plus event, because people go to an event and they're like, holy shit, I'll never miss another event. This was that important. And I wish, and here's the thing that a lot of people will say, I wish I had this person there, right? I see you, Shannon. I wish I had this person here. I wish I'd invited this person. God, I wish they would have heard that. So then it's after the event, you're sharing with that individual what it is that you wanted them to hear. So I'll tell you, events for me are the lifeblood of our business.
And you know what, as you say that, I remember every single convention I've gone to, there is always a group chat where someone goes, oh, I wish I'd come, or oh, I wish I'd sorted it out, or I'll book the next, like right now. And my advice is just do not be that person. And on that topic, I have one more question to ask. So thank you so much for your time. For those people who are on the call, guys, if you have booked your tickets, please give me a big fat yes in the comments. But for those who haven't, what would you say to them?
Well, look, it's, if you're not going to do it now, then when? Our best years are ahead of us, not behind us. We've got more. I mean, I don't even have to ask this group, but people's awareness of health right now is at the highest level that it's ever been, right? That's why I always say to people, self-care is the new healthcare. And I'll say it again, because people now are focusing more now on their health. That is the most valuable commodity that they absolutely have. And that's why I truly believe that our best years are ahead of us when it comes to the Juice Plus company, when it comes to the products and the family health study or the Healthy Starts for Family program that we have, when it comes to this financial opportunity that we have. I mean, being at conference is, for me, it was a game changer. For me, it was one of those things where, I showed up, I played full out. I was so excited. I left there going, holy cow, I got my life back, my career back as a healthcare professional. And now I have a tool that I can share with people that they really, truly can do something, move the health needle. So if you haven't gotten that ticket, if you haven't said yes to it yet, I encourage you to do that, because it will be by far one of the best decisions you've ever made when it comes to your own personal responsibility, without a doubt.
100%. I couldn't agree more. I have just popped the link for you guys who haven't grabbed the ticket yet. What I always say is just grab your ticket and figure the rest out later, because you'll want to go. But Jonathan, we really appreciate your time. Lots of light bulb moments for me have just gone off in my head all the time you were talking. So I appreciate you so much. Sorry, did you want to say something as well?
Yeah, just a huge thank you. As Shannon said, we really, really appreciate it. I've taken notes, like pages and pages of notes. And just a final reminder for everybody, obviously we've got our convention next month, but we are also having an event this Friday in Islington, which is central London. Everybody is welcome, and obviously you can bring your potentials along, or you can invite anyone. If you've got any local potentials, you're welcome to tell them to come down as well. And we also have the extra incentive running this month, which is the 825+1 incentive. So not only can you get yourself the £100 bonus, but anyone that you bring into the business, they can obviously go for the £180 bonus, which I think to get them that quite big, significant check this month and then bring them to the convention next month, they're going to be well on track to be going straight to senior partner too. So definitely be using the next 2 weeks to utilize that big incentive and get them along to the opportunity event this Friday. And we'd love to see you all there. So thank you so much again, everyone. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, Jonathan. And we really appreciate your call, and thanks everyone for joining us on Bank Holiday Monday. We really appreciate that too.
Bye, guys.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.